Okay. Okay, there are four blocks that I'm going to draw. Yes, if okay, there is some echo. I'll tell whose that echo is from. Just mute yourself. Okay. Uh, insert shapes. Okay. This is one shape. This is one shape. This is one shape. This is one shape. So, so what we'll do, we'll start with this and we'll go with trapezium and then go with a different color, I guess. Okay, and then end process. Okay, so let's take this one as init. Okay, or text. Okay, okay, let's go with the text. So here we are going to have init state. So is everyone aware of RE framework states, or do I need to explain from the beginning what is RE framework and how to work with RE framework at all? Okay, transaction data, and let's go with process, and also let's go with end process. Okay, so let's add team members for this. Uh, please give me few names. So we have close to 18 to 19 members in this team. So I'll have 9 twos are 18. Okay, 4 members per team. 4 6 are 24. Okay, 4 members per team. So let's go with Akash. Akash, you will be in the part of init group. I'll give you the rules. Okay, Ajita, Balaji, is someone talking? No, I cannot clearly. No, but tell me what was the issue. Yeah, that's fine. No problem. No need to be aware of it. Just play the game. So Glory goes with the get transaction data. Satish, Mahesh, Pallavi, and Bharadwaj. Okay. And process will go with Shankar. Uh, what is this Swantron? Whose name is it? Can you please confirm whose name is it? Okay. So someone with SWANTROHAN. Rohan. Is it Rohan?
Yes, Vajan. Rohan, yes.
Rohan, please correct your name. Rohan.
Rohan.
Yeah.
Rohan Sawant.
Okay. So Rohan, you will be as a part of end process, and then Surabhi, Sushant, you will also be a part of end process. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sushant, Venki, VI, Vijaya. Okay. So did I miss anyone?
Sir, I think you missed my name.
Your name? What is your name?
Pradeep.
Pradeep. Okay, Pradeep, let's go with let's take it in process. Pradeep, which name with which name did you join?
Actually, I late joined so that I did miss some part.
But you didn't join with your name. I think you joined with Balaji or something.
Actually, I joined my phone with my phone and my system is running some with some problem. So
Okay,
I think
please
that's why
avoid
I
it
didn't
because I will
not
not be
message.
allowing in next sessions. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Let's take it up. So there are few rules to play this game, and the rules are somewhat like this. Okay. Uh, Text. There will be. Okay. So here are the rules. Uh, Input will be um, 10 items like red, blue, green, yellow, pink, white, um, ash. Any other colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Maroon,
Black.
black. 9. One more. Last one.
Green.
Purple. Okay, let's close it with purple. Okay. Now within this particular range, now what exactly do we need is um, team from init. Did someone share the screen? No. Okay. Team from init should start the transaction. Must start the process. Okay. And team from get transaction give one item to process state. Okay. Next, process state if name starts with vowel, then print. Else raise exception. Raise exception. Or if name contains any vowel. Okay. In that name, if there is any single letter with vowel, vowel in the sense C-A-E-I-O-U, if there is any letter that is in the word with A, E, or I, O, or U, then you can continue and or else raise a issue. Okay. Then let's go. End process, close the transaction, close the flow, close complete flow. Okay. Is it clear or not? Let's write it again so that it will be easier. Create text. Okay. Now I think this will be clear. Did you understand the change? Did you understand the rules or not? Tell me.
Yes, we understand.
Okay. So there are few rules that I am adding still. So
Hi, Vajra.
yes, tell me.
So, like, what do you mean by like close the complete flow? Like, in the end process, are we supposed to send some notification or like, are we because we are not opening any application or something? Then, like, I'm not able to understand.
Okay. Let me give few more rules. That's what I said. Okay. So here, um, from the init state, if the initialization is success, then you need to send it to process state or get transaction data. Okay. This is one rule. Okay. Then get transaction data will pick one item. If picking one item is successful, then it will send the data to process state. Okay. Success, one item. Okay. But if that is a failure and if we are not able to get any transaction, you need to send it to end process. No transaction. No item. Okay. So here in process again, if process is successful, then fetch a new item. But if the process is failure, then go to init state. Okay. Okay. Now how many have any query? How many have queries now? Okay. Let's play the game and let's see. So in the init, we have Akash, Ajita, Balaji, and Bhaskar. So you can say start game and you can say that you are passing it to get transaction data and you need to pull up one name from the team. Okay.
Vajran,
Yes.
I have one question here.
Yes.
Actually, in the init state itself, it fails means regarding system initialization or anything,
Yes.
then it will come to end process state, right?
Excellent. So whenever there is a system initialization failure, then you need to go
Yeah.
to end process. Yes. Even that step is
So
there.
that transition we have to mention in the diagram.
Yes. End failure. So what initialization will do? Initialization will will take initialization of all these 10 items, all the 10 red, blue, all the 10 input items. It will take as initialized items. Okay. So Akash, Akash, everyone need to speak, please. Okay. Yeah. Please read all the names and say initialization completed. Just read it from here. Your voice is too low, Akash. Can we go with Ajita?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Red, blue, green, yellow, pink, white, ash, maroon, black, purple. What are the transaction data?
Okay. So you need to pick one name.
Pick what?
Name from get transaction data.
It's Pallavi.
Pallavi.
So get transaction item. I'm picking the red.
Okay. So Pallavi is having echo. Pallavi, please wait. Mahesh. Yeah. Pick one item and give it to if it is successful, then give it to process state.
So I need to pick up one item from the initialization, right?
From the initialized items, you need to pick first item.
Sorry.
Okay, and you are giving it to whom?
Success state.
Okay, success is a transition. Like your process, okay, you picked one transition and it is successful. And in this process, you need to give it to someone. Whom will you give it to? Shankar.
Yeah.
Shankar.
Yes, sir.
So check with the process flows here. Okay, and the rule.
Okay.
So red,
Yeah. Yeah. It is start with vowel or
it,
contains.
it contains a vowel. Word contains a vowel.
Yes. Yeah. The word is contains vowel, so process started.
Process is
I mean, I have printed with that name, right?
okay. So you have printed the name called red because it's having vowel, right?
Yes. Again, I have thrown my cursor to again get transaction item. I
Okay.
wanted to go with other item, so I'm moving back to get transaction.
So since that is completed, you are moving it to success state and you are getting one more transaction and you need to tell the name of whom that person should be.
Yeah, Pallavi.
Okay, Pallavi.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm taking second item which is blue and
Okay.
I'm giving it to Shivam
Okay. Why are you not taking green, yellow, or pink?
because the first one was the red position, right? So it's next item will go in the first position. So it's first position is blue color. So that's why.
Okay. It will
Because
not
the
move into the first position, but first we will process one item, then the next item. So in the sequential manner, we will process all the items. Okay.
yeah.
So red is completed. Now we are taking with blue. Okay. So we have completed one. Now we are going with two. Okay, done. Yes. What is your Pallavi? You are giving it to whom? Shankar is completed.
Shivam.
Shivam. Shivam.
Shivam. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So the name contains the vowel.
Mm-hmm.
So it will print. So the process will print the name,
Okay.
and it will again check for the item and again
No, no,
go
no.
to
Shivam,
get
Shivam,
transaction
Shivam,
data.
Shivam. Your task is only to print it. Other than that, you have nothing to do.
Okay, so it will throw again to get transaction data, and I will assign it to
Hmm.
Mahesh.
Nice. Okay. Just understand what teams are doing. Okay. So first initialization is completed by Akash. He took all the values and he gave it to get transaction data. Now that's one item that's completed. Now we are looping in between get transaction data and process state continuously. Okay. Just have that observation. Okay. Yes. Please, Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mahesh. Pick an item.
It's black.
Why did you pick a black? Because we have completed 1 and 2. The next item should be 3.
Okay, okay. So it should be going in a flow.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So you should not come on.
No, you should not go with any item. You should go consistently in a sequence.
So in this process, until unless we have in the initial there is an input with the 10 items, and all the 10 items have been successfully moved into the get transaction data. So
So
after that,
yeah, okay. See here, initialization will only initialize the items. It will not move anything to get transaction data. Okay, it will initialize
so
and
someone needs to get,
yeah. So get transaction data will need to get item and give it to process.
so we cannot take all the items at a single time and move it to
No,
setting.
that's not the part of the rules.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
okay then. As a first, as per process rules, I will go with the green.
okay,
Second
green, and
green.
you are giving it to whom?
Siddha.
Siddha. Okay, Siddha.
Yes, question.
Okay, please process and tell me the output.
Yeah, process. I will take that input and I'll check whether it is starting with any oval or not.
No, it's not
A1 letter.
starting. It can
It's not
be
starting with
any item.
a.
Any
Sorry.
A word can contain any vowel.
Yeah. So word is G. So and it's not starting with AR, ER, I, O, U.
Linga,
Several
just
reasons
Siddha,
for
Siddha, just
exception.
understand.
No,
Word
Siddha,
can
just
contain any.
yeah. The question is like, yeah, sorry. Yes, it is.
Please go ahead, Balaji. It's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, Siddha, like the condition is the name should contain at least one vowel.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is not like starting with the vowel. So anywhere you can find the vowel, so the process should continue.
Oh, anywhere we can find out.
Yes.
Okay. Then green means it's having word.
Mhm.
It's having vowel letter as well inside it.
Mhm.
So we'll print it.
Mhm.
I think that's it. Jen.
So you're saying that
Sorry if I'm not understanding.
no, you have understood it correctly. So we will print the word green and just go with the next item. So
Okay.
whom are you giving it to now after printing it?
Yeah, I'll give it to Vijaya.
Why are you giving it to Vijay? Vijay is in end process state. You have no transaction
Oh,
between end process and process. Transition line. Do
okay.
you
I'll
find a
give it to.
transition line?
Okay, okay. Got it. Yeah. Then I'll give it to get transaction glory. I mean, get transaction data. I'll give it to glory.
Glory, yeah. Glory.
I'm getting the item yellow and it's success. I'm passing it to Pradeep.
Okay. So yes, Pradeep.
Yes, we next item yellow, and it contains since it's containing vowels E and O that will be printed.
Okay. So we are printing yellow, right?
Yes,
Okay. Yellow printed. Next,
and after that I will give it to Bharadwaj
Bharadwaj. Okay, cool.
for the next item.
So you need not worry about next item or not. Okay, your transaction or your task is only to process an item and leave it and give it to get transaction data. It doesn't matter if it is next item or not. Okay, that task will be done by Bharadwaj directly. Do we have a next item? He will check whether there is a next item. If there is a next item, then he will give it to you. and he will not worry about will you process it or not. Okay, Bharadwaj. Hello, Bharadwaj, can you please talk? Okay, we don't have Bharadwaj in the team, I guess. Yeah, Bharadwaj left.
We have Pradeep Kumar. He has to unmute. He's unmute.
Pradeep is completed, right?
Yeah, I think I have done with my job.
Yes. So Bharadwaj is not available. So since Bharadwaj is not available, anyone from the get transaction date get transaction data can take it up.
On behalf of Bajrang Bharadwaj,
Mhm.
so I'm taking initiative.
Okay, Mahesh, tell me.
So I'll go with the ping.
You'll go with ping. Okay.
I'm giving it to Surabhi.
Okay, great. Surabhi.
Yeah. Yes. So since it contains the vowels in pink,
Mhm.
so I'll print scan. I'll go to the next transaction.
Okay, so what I'll do, instead of having 10 items, I will reduce it to 5 items to make it easier. Okay, now there are no more items. Okay, and you are giving it to whom, Surabhi?
Mahesh.
Okay, Mahesh, I think just now spoke. You can give it to someone else.
Satish.
Yeah, Satish. Satish. Okay, Satish is not able to speak. Glory, can you take?
Yeah. I'll try to get the item. There are no items, so I will move to end process.
Okay.
I'll pass it on to Rohan.
Okay, so if you see observe clearly, after ping there are no more items. Okay, so there is no need. I need to get a transaction and I need to give it. So I need to go to no transaction state and you are processing it with N. Okay, so Rohan, you need to end process state, close the flow completely. But other than that, what also I will give you is mail stating process is completed. Okay, and complete the flow. Okay. Okay, Rohan, what will you do now?
Okay. Okay. So once the control comes to the end transaction state, we will first if there is no applications are involved and we just are supposed to send the mail, we will use some activities like Outlook or SFTP and send the mails to the where are intended to get that mail.
Okay.
That is mail the process is completed.
Okay, great. So now we are sending an email stating that the process is completed. Okay, after that, what will you do?
Mail we don't have any applications involved over here. So if the applications that we have opened anything applications, then we will close the application.
So,
send the mail
Rohan, no need to explain anything different. Just stick to the flow and stick to the game. So, email, you have sent it. After that, what will you do?
The process will end.
Process will end. That's it.
We need to enclose that mail sending activity also in try catches and
Leave it. No need to tell all that. No. This is not any coding challenge. So let's go with the flow. Okay. Just simple way to understand
then the process will come to the end.
Yes, the process is coming to an end. So we'll make a small change. If letters starts, then letter starts, We have D, E, N, yellow, pink. Okay. If letter count is greater than 3, if, okay, instead of process, if name contains, okay, here, um, 4 words, if name contains 4 letters, then raise business rule exception. Okay. And if the name contains 3 letters, print. And if the name contains more than 4 letters, print. Okay, so now there is a rule change. Please check if the name contains 4 letters, then raise a business rule exception stating that there is more than 4 letters. Okay, and if the name contains yeah. So this is the output. Let's restart the flow with Ajita. So I just want you to observe clearly how many times did init started or init completed? Only once. How many times did end process executed? Only once. How many times this does get transaction data and process state executed?
Until the item is an item.
So if there are n items, yes, if there are n items, get transaction data will run for n plus 1 times. Because at the last state, it again came to get transaction data to check for a new item. Okay, process will execute n times. Like if there are 4 items, it will execute 4 times in a general scenario. Clear on that? So since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are moved into get transaction data 6 times. But here in the process, we moved only 5 times. Okay. So that was the logic. Okay. Let's run this again and let's see how many of you can do this. Okay. So I just want to change the teams now, and the teams will be this init state will be get transaction data, and end process will be process state, and process will be end process state, and get transaction data will be init state. Okay. Seems to be clear.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why this is not running. Okay, let's do something like this. Okay, anyhow, I'll take it up and I'll place it next, so there will be no issues. Just a second. So I'm going to remove this complete flows, so you need to get it correctly and give me the correct result. I hope you understood now the flows and transactions, so this need not be available. Success state. Okay, now here we go. Init state, we have these, we have this, we have this, and we have this. So there are no lines now, but you should be able to clearly get it. Okay, and meanwhile at one state there will be a system exception. I will tell when there is system exception. Okay, so Glory, you can start. Glory? Glory is on mute. So let's go with Pallavi. Pallavi?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So I'm initialize all
Okay.
items and
Okay.
I'm
And you're giving it to?
giving it to get transaction data, get transaction data
Okay.
to Akash.
Akash. Okay. Okay. There is a system exception while you are getting the data. I'm throwing a system exception. Now, what's your state in it?
So it will be the business rule exception.
No. Wrong.
Yes.
So whenever there is system exception in the init state, there is nothing else will be processed. It will be directly moved into end process state. Okay. The reason is in the initialization state where you need to have all the items to be fixed for the process to run, you had an error. So you will directly move into end process state. Okay.
Oh, I didn't get you
Okay.
please
So
can you
let's assume that you need to initialize the data, and when you are reading, you read till red and blue, and I thrown an exception, and I gave something like this. There is an empty value. You should not read empty values, but there is an empty value in the init. So this is a system exception, or you are not able to read the remaining items. Okay. Let's say that you are reading it from an Excel, and while reading, I opened the Excel, and that Excel read was failed. Now, whom will you give it to?
end process.
And who is the 10 process? Pick a name.
Shankar.
Shankar. Yeah, Shankar. What will you do?
Yes, I will check the process. Uh, I will end the complete flow.
Exactly. You will not do anything else other than ending the flow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the process started from init and then ended with end process state. So get transaction data and process state will not have any role to play here. Yes, yes, tell me.
So you said that there is any exception in the initial stage, so that we get in the process. So after that, no need to send any email that stating that there is an issue.
See, that's what. If we have written any mail here, we will send an email. Okay, so here so that was missed by Shankar actually. We need to send an email stating that the process is completed or process status. Okay, we need to send an email with process status and then close the mail, close the flow. Okay. Okay, let's start with the flow again. And now we don't have any exception. Satish, can you please take it up and start?
I'm picking green.
Satish, you are in init state.
Oh, sorry.
So your team members can help you. Your team members can help you. Go ahead, talk to your team members, Satish.
You are just reading the data. Yes.
So I'm reading.
Satish, we are just initiating we are not in get transaction.
Okay. I'm moving green to process state.
Wrong, Satish. You are making a system exception here. Take help of your team members. Discuss and tell me.
So this we are in the initial stage now. So state. So from there, we need to start move the item to get transaction data.
Okay. So I'm moving green to the get transaction data.
Wrong answer.
So it's a 4 letters rule. It's a business rule exception. So
Satish, wrong answer.
Satish, actually we are in the initiate stage where we will initiate any applications. Get transaction team will get whatever items required, like red, blue. We are just initiating and passing on. They will get the data. So you have to just initiate. We don't have any application, right? Just you have to initiate and you pass on to anyone in the get transaction data team. They will pick the items up there.
okay. Thanks, Pallavi. So I'm shading green to the get
Wrong
transaction
answer.
data.
Satish, wrong answer.
You have some mission.
Pradeep, you want to tell?
You have some. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes, Pradeep, go ahead. Talk.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we have all the data which we have read from the Excel file. That is red, blue, green, yellow, pink.
Yes.
All the 5 items we had. And once we have read the all data in its state, then we have to pass it on to that will be pass it on to get transaction data. That the get transaction data state will fetch the data from you. Not only one item, that all the items will be fetched by the get transaction state.
It will be stored in the memory. It will not be fetched, but it will be stored by a common memory.
Yeah.
Okay. No, Satish, tell me the answer. Okay, you have 3 wrongs, so you lost 3 points. Okay.
So if the letters is like 4 greater than 4.
Satish, wrong answer again. You lost 1 more point. Talk to your team members.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not getting it.
Okay.
In installation, we just reading the data and moving to the transaction data. That's what I understand.
That's it.
So
no need to think about anything else. Satish,
do I need to pick anything or not?
No need to pick anything else. Your task is only to read all the data and give it.
Okay.
Okay. Now tell me again. What is the what do you do?
Satish, you have to give them only. They will do whatever they want to do. That's it. We have to give them.
Okay. Pallavi, you can talk on behalf of Satish now. Please.
So here we are just giving the data to get transaction data.
Okay.
So that's it. That's our part. They will.
So there is no something specific to pick the items or anything else. We are just reading the data in the initial, so we're just moving it to the get transaction data.
Okay. So the answer is I'm just passing the data to the get transaction data.
Excellent. Finally, we did a great job. Thank you, guys. Okay, get transaction data.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for helping me. I'm sorry.
No problem, Satish. Fine. Okay. Now, get transaction data. To whom will you pass it to?
I'm passing to Akash.
Yes, Akash.
Yeah, I'll process red item to the process. I'll process it to the Rohan.
Okay.
So RAID has only 3 letters, so we will print it and we will again
process. Rohan, I'm throwing a system exception here.
RAID.
Now what will you do?
Okay. If we got a system exception, we will go to the init state.
Exactly. Okay. So since we got system exception, we will move ahead to init state. Okay. Please understand, whenever there is a system exception in process state, we will move it into init state, but in the remaining items, if there is any system exception, we will move it to end state. Okay, if there is system exception in process state, it means that, okay, we have all the resources to work, but there is an issue with application is on hold or we are not able to access the application. We will ask to reinitialize the application to process it again.
But we have another item,
That's fine, but we are not able to complete the process. So we will first reinitialize everything and then we will come back. Okay.
So there should not be any exceptions.
No, there should not be any exceptions. Like system exception should not be there. See, these business rule exceptions can still be there. These are written by our team, our coding team.
So can you please what is the system exception and what is the business rule exception?
So whatever exception that I have written, like business rule exception. So now you have, let's say that there is an application. The application is available, but according to the business, if there are 4 letters in a word, you should not process that application or process that request. Okay, simple. There are 100 salaries to be generated, and out of that 100 salaries, there is a rule that if the person did not attend the office for at least 5 days, please don't process the salary. And this is an automated process. Now, what will happen? It will process all the items. Now, it has the application to work. It has all the access to work. It doesn't have any stops for the process to be completed, except that the person did not attend for, or person is not available for more than 4 or 5 days within a complete month. So that's a business rule exception. But if the application itself is not available to process, then it's a system exception. Okay. So Rohan, I'm throwing a system exception for you here. What will you do?
Okay, so we got the system exception in process transaction state. So we will again go to the init state, and if there is some applications or something,
Rohan,
then
your task is only to give it to init state, nothing else.
okay.
But they should know, right? What is the why the process team has been again
No need,
doing
no need, no need, no need, no need. Init state task is only to initialize. Why is it worried about what process is doing? Okay.
But I don't know, the unit test there is a chances to know the duplicate, right? For example, in the initial stage, unit team has they have some input and they have moved it into the get transaction data. So after that, since there is a system exception, the process team the process team is not going to process that since it is a system exception. So again, that will move into the init team. So there is a chance to get duplicate, right?
See, that will be duplicated, but that will not be handled by init state. It will be handled by get transaction data. Okay, so getting data is the task of get transaction data, not init state. Init state will only initialize the items. Okay, so Rohan, whom are you giving it to?
I'm giving it to Bharadwaj.
Bharadwaj. I am not sure Bharadwaj is available. Bharadwaj, are you available? No, not available. Let's give it to Mahesh.
Okay.
Yeah, Mahesh, tell me.
We'll move to the end process since there is a system.
Okay, system exception is done in process state, not in init state.
But we need to end the process. Right?
Why will you end the process? Your task is only to reinitialize everything. When there is any exception while reinitializing, then you will end the process. Okay, stick on to your task. Mahesh, stick on to your task, then you will get the things. What is your task?
initiate the process, read the process and move the items into the data.
Move the item to get transaction data. That's your task. Then do it and leave it. Nothing else. Okay. And give it to whom?
And do it to Ajita.
Ajita. Okay. We are done with the meeting, but we'll take 2 more minutes to complete this. Okay, Ajita. Ajita, red is still pending. It's not completed. While processing red, we have an exception. What is the data that you're passing to? What is the data? Red. Okay, Sushant.
So red has 3 letters. So I'm printing that red color and passing it to get transaction data. Balaji.
Balaji.
Can you repeat once again? You said red
is
has a system exception or the business exception?
Red is completed.
Red is completed. Okay. So if red is completed, then it will go to the next item color, and I will give to the process state to row 1.
Okay.
What is the next item for red? Which color it is?
You tell me.
Red. It is blue.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is the color?
It's blue.
Just a second, I'll check. Just a second. Yeah, blue. Okay. So I will process the next item blue to Mr. Venki.
Okay.
Yeah. So the blue, it is having the 4 letters. So now it is a business rule exception as per the condition.
Yes. So no more printing.
Yeah, we are not printing that.
Okay. Then whom are you giving it to?
So again, we need to get the data, and that is from Bhaskar. We are assigning.
Okay. So you not say that you need to get the data. You're just passing it to get transaction data. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bhaskar.
So I need to again rework on blue, or I need to go for the next one?
So blue is completed, right? See, that's not a system
Okay.
exception. That's a business rule exception.
Okay, so business rule exceptions will not end the process, right?
Yes, it will continue.
In that way. Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm taking up the green word and I'm just passing to Sushant from the process team.
Okay, so green has more than 4 letters. So I'm printing it and passing it to get transaction data. Bhaskar.
Okay, I'm taking it yellow and I'm passing to process team to Venki.
Yeah, so I received the yellow. It is having more than 4 characters, so it is valid. So I'm printing the data and I am passing the to the get transaction data. Akash.
Yeah, I'll get the next item as a pink and I'll pass it on to Vijaya.
Yeah, it contains 4 letters, so I'm raising business rule exception and passing the control to Balaji.
Okay. So yellow, you said business rule exception, right? So I will move to the next item.
Balaji, I think
that
you
is
missed.
pink.
I think you missed. Vijay, did you work on pink or yellow?
Actually, I'm talking about the last item, pink.
Yes.
Okay,
So
pink. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. As it contains 4 letters, I'm raising business rule exception here and giving control back to the transaction data. So you can proceed, Balaji.
Okay, sure. So as there are no items here, so I'm moving it to the end process to Mr. Sita.
So since all process I just end the process.
Okay, you need to send an email and end the process.
Yep.
Okay.
Mail said the status completed, and I will close all the process.
Okay.
Stop it.
Super. So I'm not sure how many of you were able to understand. Can I have a hand raise? Were you able to understand it? There are few emojis. If you want, you can give those emojis as well.
Vajan, just need one component. I just want to understand the process chain.
Okay.
Yes. So since as per the business rule, if one word has the four alphabets.
Okay.
So there is.
For the next 30 days,
So
I'll
there
be
is
training.
we should not go further. So is there any particular thing that we need to raise the business rule?
So raise in the sense, if there are any activities, for example, while if there are 4 items, okay, instead of printing it, you can raise a mail. You can send an email. If there is some condition like that, you can send an email.
Like being in a process state.
I didn't get that. Can you repeat?
So, like being in the process state here. So as we have received a business rule, business exception rule.
Okay.
So directly we go into the transaction data, or we need to raise the business exception email, and then go into the get transaction data. Right?
If there is
like,
any,
is there any particular thing? Yeah. Is there any particular thing we should do?
I didn't get the last part. Alone.
Like as we said, so there is a business rule, right? Business exception rule.
Okay.
So do we need to do something here? Or we are directly going to the get transaction data?
Exactly, that's what I said. If there is any data or if there is any code that you need to work on something, then you need to work. Okay, if that even that you need to write the code. Okay. Okay.
So again, what are the things which are there in the business exception rule? So who is going to take care of that? Like example, blue, green.
Mahesh, please unmute and talk. Mahesh, please unmute and talk. Yeah, tell me.
Like, for example, if we take the 2 items, which are pink and the blue, so which are business exception. So, who is going to take care of the 2 items?
No need to take care of those 2 items.
Okay.
See,
so that is a rule, right?
Yeah, that's a rule, and we are stating that okay, since that is a we clearly mentioned that that is the business rule exception, so there is no need to check further.
Yeah, that is what business requires. Right?
Exactly.
Understood.
Okay, that is what business require, and
yeah, understood.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one doubt.
Yes, tell me please.
We have 4 items. When we are processing the 3rd item, there is a system exception. So it will go to initialize and get transaction. Whether it will again go back to the first item and get it, like we are getting the items from the Excel, not from the orchestrator. So will it get the first item again, or it will start from the 3rd item?
So we will also maintain a variable that will track which item are we maintaining. That is called transaction number. Okay, so if there is so the transaction number will be incremented every time you pick a new transaction.
Okay.
So when there is system exception, if there is system exception in the 5th item, then we will continue from the 5th item.
Okay.
Okay, if there is system exception in the 1st item, we will pick up from the 1st item.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vajram, I have one doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Sorry. So in starting, you said that there is a system exception. Why? Because I didn't get that.
So system exception is something.
In the process,
Yeah.
you said.
So system exception is when you don't have applications to work on. Whatever the application, for example, if you need to do calculation with calculator, and if you don't have calculator, then it's a system exception, right? You don't have proper applications to work.
Yeah, but we here we are just reading the data, right?
Correct.
So why we get that error? And
because I thrown the
I
exception.
need to go to
Because I am the main workflow and I throw the exception. You need to handle it.
Okay. Got that.
Okay.
Only in business rule exception we have to try only once accordingly. How many retry we are mentioning there?
Retries are not available in get transaction data. Okay. So business rule exception will not retry. Because that's
only system exception.
Yes, only system exception will retry.
Okay. Understood. Thank you for this wonderful game.
It's part of Squid Game. So what I did is you have a video to watch. That was explained on board about tariff framework. You might relate it much more easier way. So please go ahead and watch it, and you will be able to understand it. I have shared it in WhatsApp for you everyone.
Okay. Are we playing again this game?
You will play with the code, not now. Okay, we'll play with the code, not with this game. But I hope the game was interesting and you were able to understand the concept.
Wonderful idea, so that all guys can understand very well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I also have works. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay.
Also, Bharatwaj, you told some more things you will share, right, from last week. So you'll be sharing.
Okay, I'll be sharing all the recordings. There are only 3 recordings, and it's not Bharadwaj, it's Vajrang. And I'll share all the recordings. I have already shared it, but I will try to give access. I hope I gave it, but I'll give it again for everyone.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Don't miss any sessions because every session will be interesting. And one more thing, let me take a quick screenshot and I'll try to post it in LinkedIn. Just go ahead and like, share, and comment. Hopefully. Okay. Yes.
One thing, Vajran.
Yes, tell me, please.
Can we have curriculum kind of thing? So
curriculum kind of
before session,
okay.
Curriculum means in this 1 month period of time. So what are all the topics? Okay. What are all the topics you are going to cover?
Framework.
So at least
RE framework and project, nothing else. So see, curriculum. When you say curriculum, you are thinking about activities and you are thinking about what activities you need to learn. For that, go and watch the first video where I'll be where I have already said in the first week we'll be working only with 1 application in RE framework, second week 2 applications, third week APIs, fourth week will be complete project.
Okay, fine.
Okay, you need to work on all the activities. There is no one activity that you need to miss. You should miss.
Yeah, got it.
Got it? Okay, fine. Thank you. Everyone, please drop in your LinkedIn emails or LinkedIn profile IDs in the chat. Okay. Bye-bye.